status. What this means is that currently anybody who owns property can drill a well for their own personal water supply. It requires, though, that you not take more than 10 acre-feet per year or pump in excess of 35 gallons per minute. That is just that's the way the current law is. But again, on the reservation, I'm not really sure how that all works, but it's kind of viewed in Montana as a resource in general. And so if you're a Montanan and you live in the state and you own property, you should have a right to have your own personal water supply. Okay. If you exceed that, if you exceed 10 acre-feet per year, then you get into a different category, and then you do have to file. I hope I answered that question.
Yeah, and I think the compact as proposed addresses that question like that.
Yeah.
Okay. From the cards, why compare unemployment at a hardened power plant, which is off reservation and not a tribally owned or controlled venture, to potential on-reservation projects? This seems like apples and oranges.
Yeah, I made the statement. Why did I say that? I said that because I've heard that a certain attorney with the administration said there are going to be a lot of jobs for crows. And that's what they said when Rocky Mountain came in and wanted to put their power plant on the Bighorn. There are going to be a lot of jobs for crows. And that's always the promise, and it always falls through. This is a job that's going to be regimented, and it's going to be regulated by the Bureau of Reclamation. I don't see any Indian preference rules in here, in the water compact, that says Indian preference on the construction of dams and canals. So that means the Bureau of Reclamation can hire whomever they please. Those are guys that can shovel faster than maybe Indians can. I don't know. Yes?
Question? Yes, ma'am.
Maybe she can't hear.
Okay, this is my question. I have a water limit, and as it is, I'm always shot down by the tribe because of what I do and what I do. I have a non-profit organization which feeds many crow children. Every school to give to children. Okay, if the tribe if this compact goes through and the tribe does not like me, can they double charge me than maybe him being on the tribal side and he gets less charges on his water and I have to pay a high amount? Can they, or would it be in a compact? Does it say anywhere where you pay, like, for gas, you know how much it is a gallon you pay? On water, are they going to be having a formula where I would be paying water for how much I use? Or can the tribe put that amount upon me and I have to pay it because they do not like what I do?
Question?
Yeah, I understand the question, but I'm not sure I'm fully loaded on the answer. I'll give it a shot. There is a statement in the compact that says the allottees shall be allowed appropriate water allowances. All right? And then there's supposed to be a water code. And that water code really is where the rubber meets the road in terms of what the tribe does with regard to allottees if this compact was approved. And if the compact is approved and the water code is approved and it's biased or slanted or whatever in favor of the tribe and against allottees, that's the law of this land. That's the law of Crow Country. So can they do whatever they please? Well, it would depend upon the institution and implementation of legislation that would decide that issue, I think. I have that same anxiety that you do, that this is something we can't quite get a grip on because of the circumstances here on the reservation. So I think 3 years it's required that they have a water department and a water code within 3 years. And so, well, you know, if the water compact is approved on the 8th of March, we'll have to wait and see, I guess.
Thank you. Good question. From the cards, what about the contamination of the Little Bighorn Valley by farmers who use pesticides? The contamination of groundwater, that is, by farmers who use pesticides. Well, you can both answer.
I think this is also pretty simple. If we had a water code, then there would be people down in the Little Horn who would not be flushing their toilet directly into the Little Horn River like they do now. There should be some enforcement connected with the water code, where we improve the quality under the Clean Water Act, the EPA Clean Water Act. I've suggested that we apply for an application to be considered a tribe as a state, TAS qualification, where we can impose the same rules and regulations to demand the same water quality in all of our drainages. But that's not come to pass. So the federal law is out there to give us all the authority that states have to regulate our water and the quality of water and contamination in our water by enforcement with a water code, with enforcement where they hand out, let's say, civil citations. Don't get a septic tank and make it 200 yards from the stream side or whatever the rules are. And yes, there could be internal control, and I think that the answer to that question is, depending on the water code, that could be resolved in the water code.
Here's a related question, and I'll just interject. As we all know, we Crows do not have EPA laws or water codes, so when the water compact passes, how does it affect us? It's a exactly related question.
Okay, that's a really great question, because like what's been mentioned, you have 3 years then to come up with a water code. You also have to have this tribal water right department, and there will be a responsibility there on how the water is managed, how it's monitored, any fees or structure, anything like that would be happen. So if you decide in your water code that yes, we're going to adopt EPA standards for drinking water and for wastewater and a number of other things, that's the way it would be. You don't have to vote yes on this compact to set up your own water code and establish your own levels of, that you wish to follow. I don't know if I answered the question.
Okay, question from the floor. Yes, ma'am. You haven't asked it.
Printout you gave us, it says the 1939